Hello there. And how are we all doing today? Thursday, isn't it? Thursday the 6th of October. I've just been down to the post office there, dropping off a load more private trust documents for people that are following through on their common sense and judgment and protecting all their assets with a private trust deed. And what we do is we send off a big hardback file, like the full deed in hardback, all printed out correctly. But we also express the creation documents and the certification documents as well. What I mean by express it is we actually send them off signed for post through the Royal Mail, and we insert the tracking numbers from the Royal Mail into the documents, into the certificates, and into the assignment documents as well, and the documents of creation. And we get the proof of postage and the proof obviously of receipt when the people actually receive it, and then we print it off and send that as well. And that covers the 3 certainties to make sure that you have a valid trust that's in force. And the certainties are the certainty of creation. Did you intend to create a trust? Well, it's pretty difficult to actually post them through the Royal Mail with tracking numbers by accident. So that covers that one. And the certainty of subject matter, well, on the assignment creation documents, we have whatever property's been assigned into the trust with the title numbers all created and put inside, and also the certainty of objects, the last one, and that is whoever the beneficiaries were or are. So that all gets posted out, and then they receive that along with the the full trust deed as well, which it comes in a big hardback folder that zips up all nice and neat and protects everything. So I've just done that, sent them off there, so they'll get them hopefully tomorrow or the day after. It's quite late actually now, nearly 5, or just after 5 I think now. Like, we've got past the end of the month, the 30th of September, so the Pope didn't run out and kill everybody or steal everyone's assets. I don't know what any of that really meant. Nobody really does. But you know, I still don't trust the banks obviously, and there's a lot of things going on that you can see, and I'll tell you what, right, the amount of banks, and I mean major banks like central banks, Bank of America, Bank of Scotland, all are actually getting involved in the Ripple, which is the XRP blockchain. You know, by no means like know that much about it, but you know, it seems to be that a lot more people are getting, a lot more huge companies are getting involved, you know, in that marketplace. And whoa, get out my way, there's a bird trying to kill itself on my car. And 2 huge big asset management companies, one of them just spent 60 million, another one just spent 20 million moving into the crypto space, you know. So they're not making moves like that lightly, you know. There's stuff happening, and it might be along the lines of they're getting ready for these CBDCs, you know, the central bank digital currencies. But along with that, you know, we can still have like major benefits as well. So that there is 2 sides to it from what I'm being told and what I'm studying. I can only repeat what they tell me. Like I say, I'm a beginner here. Stay there, little kids, now. Be careful. Oh, parent with them. The mother's about the same height as the kids. But I thought they were going to jump out in front of the road there. No, but there's a lot going on. So I'm going to be going live on the members tonight at 7 p.m. It was supposed to be, well, we were doing it for Wednesdays, but I wanted to change so that I could actually do another study course, you know, that's been happening on a Wednesday. So I did that. So we're going to continue for a while on the Thursdays. So tonight I'm going to go over a lot to do with the RX1, right, which is a restriction on the land registry, which is to protect your property, which you can do if you've got a mortgage or not a mortgage, even if you haven't got a trust really, but you should have a trust tied into it. But I'm going to go over that and how to actually fill it in. I was talking to Darren the last few nights, you know, just going over the forms. He's been doing it for years and years and years. Still extremely busy, but you know, we were just talking about lots and lots of different things. But obviously I just wanted to check, you know, like my paperwork, make sure it's 100% correct, which it is, so that we can do the AP1, the TR1. Obviously you need the ID one anyway, right, that you need to get to prove who you are, but on top of that we're going to do the RX one as well. So I'm going to go over on the PMA, the members tonight, the Private Members Association. Now here's some interesting news as well that a lot of people may find interesting. So, you know, we get a lot of stick and a lot of hassle, and you get slagged off by everybody, you know, who gives the monkeys, that I really truly do not care. But the we've just successfully opened the second private members bank account. Okay, so that's not only have we set it up there from the Private Members Association, which is a spiritual ministry, all right, we now have a bank account for the second one, right? So that's being backed by these banking institutions in the UK, and they have now the second one that's been accepted this week, banks. And the thing is, we can do the same with that with private trusts or PMAs. We've been told both, and two of them have been confirmed. Already doing exchanges, already doing like you know, financial transactions backwards and forwards. All right, so we are pretty sure, like when I was down and doing a couple of presentations and doing different groups, a lot of groups asking about that because they could never find a bank that would work for them or let them or even speak to them. So now we've got two now that are like actually working, transacting and being a bank with a PMA, Private Members Association. You can't get much more official than that, can you? So you know, I'm going to have links in the description, so if anybody else wants to know more about how to actually protect your assets, and the PMA, well, not the PMA but the PMA documents are very, very important, and they are an asset, and they can go inside the private trust as well. Yeah, so remember, on the private trust side, the biggest word about it is private, which means, okay, that it is not a statutory trust, that it's got nothing to do with legislation, that acts and statutes do not apply in the private realm or to a private trust. It is not their jurisdiction. So don't panic about like people saying, oh well, you need to register your trust. You only need to register statutory trusts. You don't need to register private trusts. The same as you don't need to register PMAs, Private Members Associations, like you do. You have to register a limited company, right? You have to go on and register it when it gets its own limited company name, you know, gets its, what do you call it, corporation number or whatever it's called, right? But you don't get that with a PMA because it's private, but it is still a commercial entity that's been there way before corporations, way before limited companies, way before anything. Okay, and it's all on private contract basis, member contract basis, or association to association private basis, all on contracts. Right, and that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the old world crumbles and disintegrates. Right, so if you want to check any of them out, you want to get information about them, have a look in the description for the links. All right, just a quick one tonight because I have to get ready. I look a bit rough, don't I? To actually do the presentation. All right, see you all later. Take care.